So we're actually going to do something a little bit different. I've been sent a video in. I've had a look at this video and there's a few things that I don't necessarily agree with, and this isn't like mudslinging or anything like that. We're just simply trying to give a balanced view of what we don't agree with, especially with this video when there's obviously people out there that are making certain claims and demands about right ways and wrong ways to do things. So with that, me and Rory will sit here and watch a video, and we'll basically just give our opinion on certain parts of what this video says. So hopefully, hopefully you see that and enjoy it. Cheers.
Welcome to the channel. Thanks for watching, thanks for joining me today on this nice roof clean. Bit of a chilly start, but yeah, we're going to get it done, don't you worry. Just wanted to show you one of these. This is a turbo nozzle, and this is a very dirty but old and delicate roof. Now you're starting to see roof cleaning becoming much more common as people are getting into it, or maybe even having a go at it. And you're seeing people using these quite a bit. Now this is actually the most intensive tool you can get for pressure washing, because you have the power from your pressure washer, however much cleaning power you have from your industrial pressure washer, and then this concentrates all that cleaning power to one pinpoint pencil jet. So you're concentrating all that power to one point, and then it spins really rapidly. So I only really use this for the most toughest cleaning jobs, like the stubborn oil stain on a patio or driveway, something like that. And you want to hit it with everything you've got. But the thing is with this, you can do some damage to the surface because you are concentrating that cleaning power so much. You can damage things, and there are people saying you shouldn't pressure wash a roof because you could damage it, and that's true. Using something like this, you could damage it. But it's the same thing on driveways, patios, any other type of pressure washing. You could also damage the surface using one of these in any area that you might be trying to clean. So for roof cleaning especially, I much prefer to use something like this, my flat surface cleaner, because it uses fan jets. So now the cleaning power from my machine is being spread to a wider area on the surface through a fan. So depending on how wide the fan is, that cleaning power will now be spread across a bigger area of the surface. Not only that, but there's two of them. So the cleaning power is split across two jets. So this is much more gentle. So that's why I always use a flat surface cleaner for cleaning roofs. And I don't use a turbo nozzle. So if you do see people, I'll be very wary of a contractor who's using something like this to clean a roof. It can make a difference if you're using...
Well, I'll stop it there then. So obviously listening to be very wary of someone using a turbo nozzle. For me, let's pull this apart a bit. So yes, using a turbo nozzle against the fan jet, definitely much more concentrated pressure. I believe it's a 0 degree that's pushed around by a ceramic ball as opposed to a 25, 35 fan jet. You do split the litre per minute. You've still got the same pressure running through, the PSI running through the pressure washer, but yes, you split that flow rate into two. But the point that he's missing is that you're only like half an inch to an inch off the surface with a fan jet, and he's not understanding kinetic energy. So when you're using a turbo nozzle, you know, you're very rarely within 6, 8, 12 inches of the roof surface.
Yeah, you use that force of the turbo to sort of place you, and we would generally be about 6 to 8 inches away.
So what he's not understanding is kinetic energy, because kinetic energy, yes, if you've got that turbo nozzle within, say, an inch, half an inch, the same as the fan jet, then yes, of course, the pressure is going to be a lot. But as soon as you start moving that away, so say for instance 6 inches, you know, you're probably going to lose around 50% of its power. And then when you get to like 12 inches, and I know that I've seen videos of us working 8 to 12 inches, because when you've got it out at such a distance, you know, you can't sort of purchase that down anyway.
You're using
well, you've got gravity, haven't you? Gravity and the pressure. So you're going to lose, you know, out of all of that flow rate or that pressure, you're going to lose probably about 60 to 70% of that kinetic energy, which in turn, you know, means it's actually a softer way of doing it. So the other thing I don't like as well is he's showing a bit of wood. Wood isn't a tile. Wood is very fragile. I mean, when
splinter with a cart chuck.
Yeah. I mean, how many times have we cleaned the decking? You know, and you're very, very gentle. You wouldn't use a turbo on a decking, you know, on decking anyway. You'd always just use a fan jet. So yeah, I just think what he's saying here is pretty much nonsense. He's just missing the point of like I say, the kinetic energy of the distance between where the turbo nozzle is and the surface.
If you had a turbo nozzle with 6 inches and a flat surface cleaner at 6 inches, then obviously the flat surface cleaner is going to win that because it's broken down into two, and it's fan jets. But obviously that flat surface cleaner is flat on the roof, on the surface, as per the name, and the turbo nozzle is going to be at a distance. So yeah, I think the turbo nozzle would win there over.
Because the other thing you've got as well is gravity comes into play, because the flat surface cleaner is bang on the weight of it onto the surface. So it's got that surface, it's directly there, which is pushing that water down. But again, with the turbo nozzle, you're not actually above it. You're not purchasing above the turbo nozzle to force it down.
Yeah, there's no force there. You're going with the
with the flow of that. So you've got, you know, anti-gravity, if you like, because it's going the opposite way to what the pressure's hitting. And then to say I'd be very wary of someone using a turbo nozzle, that just sounds ludicrous to me, because
flip side of that is if he's talking about people using a turbo nozzle while they're walking across a roof and they are directing it straight down onto the roof, then understandably they could be, there's going to be a lot more pressure there. But we're talking trained roof cleaners
that don't walk on roofs.
So you've got to be a bit more specific to what actually.
Well, I think that's what he's saying, because he uses a flat surface cleaner, and then you'll see later in the video, obviously he's using it at the end of a carbon pole like we would do.
It's heavy, and to control them over it is quite heavy. Whereas the turbo nozzle, like you say, gravity's going to push it up anyway, and you just find that balance. It's an easier clean for the guys that are carrying out the work.
But it's just the amount of kinetic energy that loses. You're talking, you know, if you could get that down to an inch, which you can't, unless you, like I say, you're standing above it and you're actually on there. That's just literally going to lift off. And if you go research kinetic energy and what kinetic energy means, so every inch that comes away from the surface, that pressure is just getting less and less and less and less. Because pressure washers really work best when you're close up, you know, that's when you're getting maximum pressure, you know. So to say that anyone using a turbo nozzle
can make a difference if you're using a steam setup. I mean, people also say you should only use steam for cleaning roofs. But steam is really just a way of reducing the amount of pressure or cleaning power that you're actually using on the surface. So you can reduce that in other ways. It doesn't have to be steam.
That's not correct.
No, so for me, steam does reduce the pressure by turning part of that pressure into steam. But the reason that we use steam on a roof is that it will attack all them organic growths like the lichen, your black spot, things like that, and steam penetrates the surface deeper. So the heat from that will get you get a lot better clean from steam.
I think we'll actually come on to that on the video. You'll see what you're saying is why it's relevant, you know.
It's
but steam definitely does reduce massively the pressure of the flow because as you say, most of it, well not most of it, but a lot of it turns into steam, which is obviously just a lot gentler. So therefore, the flow of water that's going through massively reduces compared to using a cold pressure washer.
So less pressure on a hot clean. All right. Yeah.
It's just night and day, isn't it? That's why we just simply don't use cold water. We always use hot water. Doesn't matter how much the diesel cost is or anything like that. We don't cut corners. We always just, we sell it as a steam clean, and it is a steam clean.
Well, it's always an instant result, and yeah, I mean, I have watched this video already, so I know the bit that we're coming to, so I'll leave that for till then.
Oh, okay, we'll keep going.
The steam can be used and it can be useful, but it's also a very, very expensive setup to get set up with steam.
Well, then that just compares chalk and cheese, doesn't it? I mean, we don't cut corners, we don't do things cheaply, and obviously using a pressure washer, like he's saying, is a cheap way of doing it.
Yeah.
And you've got more chance of affecting the surface.
Because you're using full pressure constantly.
Exactly. So, that to me is incorrect. It should be, just use steam. Why wouldn't you use steam if that's the gentlest way of cleaning a roof,
Yeah, and you just incorporate that into your costs anyway. If you know you're going to use 60 quid's worth of diesel for a day, then obviously, you incorporate that into your costs.
I suppose it's the cost of setting it all up as well, and I think he talks here about the van as well, the size of the van, but that's, to me, so what? Do you know what I mean? Get a bigger van. If you've got a better way of doing it and a safer way that's more softer.
Yeah, well yeah, he's found something, better it.
Yeah, or just give the customer exactly what they should be getting, and that's the softest way, and that is soft washing. That's the softest way to clean that roof.
Type of steam equipment, and you need a bigger van to accommodate that and all that kind of stuff. So what I prefer to do is just use a reduced amount of pressure, being able to control that cleaning power through the right tool with the right jets, and we'll get a great result. So doing that in combination with chemical treatment, I think, is the best approach, because it helps you remove that problem moss.
That could be the best approach if he said that steam cleaning is the best way. It's the most expensive way.
Yeah.
Well, it's, that's the best way.
Massively contradicted yourself.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
steam's the best way, but I'm going to quote you to do it with cold water.
Because I've only got a little van.
Yeah.
And I'm, crazy.
It's developed on the roof, and the chemical will kill any fragments of organic growth that might be left in the surface, any spores that might be left in the surface, and prevent them growing back for at least 2 years. So that's the approach I normally like to take. So I can help look after someone's roof in the best way, maybe extend the life of their tiles even, and just help generally keep their roof free from potential damage that could be caused by the build-up of moss, which holding that moisture, which can lead to other issues.
That's correct,
So
isn't it?
that's what we're going to do today. Hopefully we can get a good transformation. I'm sure we will.
You can sell this $5 spatula on Amazon.
Dave,
You can compete with hundreds of other spatula sellers. Or you can sell digital products on Amazon.
And hope you enjoy.
Yeah, Steve was taking, we said an instant result, we give an instant result.
So this is a kind of a halfway house, isn't it? If you're still the lichen on there, and then the chemicals can do the work. It still takes 12 to 18 months to remove.
Yeah. chemically, then straighten it off manually and improve it and let the chemical do the work. I mean, yeah, it looks a lot better than what it did.
I mean, yeah, we're being very picky with the lichen that's on there. It's only a small amount, but at the same time, if you've got a method that can do that, which is the steam, then use it.
Gone well so far. Massive colour change, really come up really good. You can see there's some fragments of lichen kind of left behind, and I think that just shows that I am being gentle on the surface basically.
How's it?
So
I've got to pause there.
super stubborn.
How are you being gentle on the surface if you've got a method that is more gentler, which he said and we've said, and would eradicate that? Because if you're going to be gentle, like you said, you'd scrape it and treat it.
Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, personally, us, we've always looked at a roof and judged the clean by the state of the roof. And if it is a delicate roof, then obviously we'd go for a manual scrape and then a treatment and let the chemical slowly, gradually remove everything off of the roof.
I mean, it doesn't look hideous, that roof,
No,
does it?
I've seen a lot worse.
Well, yeah, some of the videos we've got, where tiles have really moved.
It's like, the 1930s, 1950s kind of roofs, even 60s, where they've got the small, just the small square tiles. They're the ones that are quite they're the more delicate tile. They're quite solid, the teeth tiles, because they overlap each other. So they're supported underneath, by the side and above on every level.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't call that a delicate roof.
And but it's just that lichen.
Stubborn bits that are just left behind. But don't worry about that too much, because we're going to treat it all with the chemical. The chemical's going to kill all that off, so the roof leak can continue to improve.
You could have done that with steam.
You could have, yeah. I mean, he is correct in what he's saying, but like you say, it's kind of a halfway out. So if you're using cold water, that isn't doing the job properly.
There's a conservatory as well, so I just put the tarpaulin over the conservatory, just to try and protect that a bit from any of the mess that falls down. So it's quite mossy, and it's surprising how the moss piles up as it comes down. But yeah, I'll get it back done now.
Yeah, I noticed that actually when I watched it earlier.
Yes, it's going pretty well so far. Amazing transformation on the roof. They're really light coloured tiles underneath, so once we've got that moss off, you can really see obviously a big difference. But we have made an awful mess on the ground now. There's a lot to clean up, so now is the epic task of cleaning up all this mess. I have gone over the roof tiles really quite kind of slowly and carefully, there's lots of kind of stubborn moss between the tiles just stuck on there, so I was just trying to go over that a couple of times, make sure I wash that out. And with the rinse as well, the second time over is the rinse, so I've just gone over quite nice and slowly, make sure I wash all that down from in between kind of the gaps in the tiles there where they meet. It is an old roof. There was one tile I noticed slipped down slightly just under the chimney there, and I've tried to push it back up, but it looks like it needs to be cemented, so we can't do any of that, those repairs or maintenance. I can recommend a roofer, a local roofer who can come and do those things. So sometimes it's just a case of giving a report of some kind to the customer to let them know this is the condition of your roof. But on the whole, for such an old roof, it's really good condition actually. You can see in some places where it looks like some tiles have been replaced in the past, there's a slightly different colour or something. But yeah, overall it's looking pretty good. So it's good to be able to look after it, help the customer just to lengthen the life of it that little bit more as well. So, better get this clean up done and get these tidied up. Got to get this tarpaulin off the conservatory roof as well. Then I've also got to clear out the gutters, get the back out, get all the gutters cleaned out, and then we'll get the chemical treatment done.
Front's it's that back though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like
Really overhung.
yeah, you know, they're not getting down to them.
Down pipes.
Yeah, no gutter bags. So depending on where the bottom of that pipe leads to, you're
Putting it back into the water system. Look at that, gutters still full. He hasn't got a gutter back in there because he just simply can't.
process is all, he clearly knows what he's doing.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I was going to round up with, you know.
Yeah, nice. Good job today, it's turned out really good. Fantastic transformation on the roof. What a difference that has made. Still a bit damp for the after photos, but even when it dries out, the tiles look even lighter. You can see they are starting to dry out a little bit near the top.
A lot of moss left.
And turned out really good. Cleaned everything up. The surrounding areas, we've cleaned out the gutters. We've applied the chemical treatment as well, so that helps look after the roof in the long term. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it useful. If you did enjoy the video, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And why not subscribe? See us on the next one. If you are interested in training or you want to have a look at the approved contractor database, all the links are in the description below. Also, I do a podcast, so you can listen to that as well. Tons of experiences from other professionals in the industry, how they've got started in the industry, some tips and advice from myself as well. So check that out, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Take care. See you soon.
So what roundup you got for that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the training side of it. I mean, the training that we've sent our guys on and that we've done ourselves has been backed by City and Guilds and different, yeah, they're up there, you know.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing, but I just think, yeah, you've obviously, you're pointing out things that aren't correct to make yourself look a little bit better. That's how I kind of felt with it, you know, like don't use these because they use one of them, use us because we don't.
But that's just nonsense.
Yeah, the science of it.
The science of it
wrong. Yeah,
it's just yeah. I'm not going to repeat exactly what went over, but you know what he's not comparing like for like. If the turbo nozzle was at the same distance as the whirl away, then definitely that would be the most penetrative, I can't even get that word out, way of of hitting that surface. But so yeah, he needs to really look at that. As I say, kinetic energy definitely comes into play there with the distance of what the turbo nozzle is away from the surface. Personally, I think he definitely, like I say, he definitely knows what he's doing. I think he's cutting corners by not having steam. He's openly admitted that steam is the best way to do it.
Yeah, and gutter bags as well.
Gutter bags, yeah. He's sending biocide straight back into the, like you say, it depends where it's connected, but if that's going straight down the drain, then that's going straight back into the water system.
And that was something that was within our training as well. It was the gut bags. It's part of the health and safety aspect of roof cleaning.
Yeah. And then, as we said, like if it was a delicate roof, why not just scrape and treat, and then let nature do its thing? Because it's a bit of both, isn't it? But personally, I wouldn't be happy using cold water on a surface like that. I think you got much more chance of doing more damage than either using the steam route or the scrape and treat.
Yeah, agreed.
And yeah, as for the training, I'm sure you can learn a lot of things, especially if you're a newbie. But for us as a big operator, we want to know that it's done correctly, from this video, it just sounds like it's not 100% there, and I'd be very wary of using an approved contractor if this guy's training them based on the points that we've made, So so based on what you've just seen, then what would you rate that video out of 10, or that whole job?
I'd probably go maybe a 7, and the only reason I'm saying 7, I mean the roof looks a lot better without a shadow of a doubt. They've done a good clean up there. There's a couple of areas like the tiles overhanging the gutters, so clearly them bits of gutters haven't been able to be hoovered out. You could have blasted them out if you had to have used you could use a wand up there and blasted that out. You're cleaning up everything anyway. Not having the gutter bags on there. We'd lose points for not having them there. So I'd go 7 on that.
Okay, I'm going to go a bit lower, and the reason I'm going to go a bit lower is just because of the misinformation. I just think if you're going to say stuff as facts, know your facts. Don't have an opinion and put it across as fact. So for me, 5 out of 10, because I still think it was a clean roof at the end of the day. There was lichen on there. For us, we would want that removed. I know you can't get every single bit all the time, but when you use steam, you've got much more chance of eradicating as much of that as possible. But definitely the chemical will do the work as well. So that's what I would give it. But just purely more around the misinformation more than anything. But so anyway, so hopefully you found some use in that and what we're saying. And like we say, it's not that we're saying that we're totally 100% correct, but we obviously do try to do things correctly. All our guys are trained, and we've got a good support network around us as well for anything where we need some good advice. So anyway, hopefully you found some use in that, and please do like, share and comment. It'd be great to hear your opinions. Do you agree with us? Do you not agree with us? Thank you for watching, and hopefully you found some use.
Thank you.
Bye.